it is. And we've seen this evolve pretty steadily over the last hour or so. We're streaming on 19 at 6, and I watched this pop up in Franklin County, and within 10 minutes, this evolved into a severe thunderstorm warning, and now this in Boone County, a tornado warning. So if you're just tuning in, we have a tornado warning. It was once including parts of Cincinnati, and now just includes parts of Boone and Kenton County. So north of Independence, along 71, includes Burlington. Rising Sun, you're not included. Parts of Gallatin County, I'd say the north and eastern side of Gallatin County, you're included within this warning as well, or at least treat it like you are, even if you aren't technically within that polygon. It is closer to your doorstep to the strongest part of the storm. Unless this significantly changes, which we haven't seen it do so, is going to be moving just north Burlington the next 5-10 minutes or so. Still got a good amount of lightning here in Cincinnati, but thankfully that tornado warning has been dropped across the Ohio River in Hamilton County. Again, right here, right over Hebron is where we have now that what could be a tornado. Again, no confirmations. This is all radar indicated rotation. We're working to get some information for you all. So Erlinger, you guys have about 10 minutes before that pocket of rotation is right on top of you, so find your safe space now. That could be in the very low level of your house. That could be within a bathroom, within a closet. As long as you're in a room with no windows, that is your best option. Is that Limaberg, 726, Marydale, 727, and Florence at 7:30. Again, 7:30 is when this warning is going to be allowed to expire unless they were to extend it in area, but we have only seen this being trimmed off rather than added onto. That's good. That means this could very well be showing signs of weakening. From what we're seeing here at 19, it's still very much a needed warning with this rotation here. Still north of Burlington, south of Taylorsport. It has crossed the Ohio River, no longer concerned to Hamilton County or Dearborn County, but rather Boone and Kenton counties. Once again, Erlinger, Independence, Union, along 127 is where we have that tornado warning, but what we're watching is right here, that pocket of rotation, which is now tracking just east of Hebron, along 236 towards Erlinger, just south of Lakeside. Here's the track for you. Marydale and Florence, once again, closer to 7:30 arrival time. Got us about 7 minutes before it's right on top of you. And that is if the warning is still in place. It is supposed to expire at 7:30. Zooming on and giving you a very
the rotation is right over the airport right now. That's where it's moving.
Okay, the rotation, according to Brad, is right on top of the airport right now. He's working to get some information for you guys, I believe.
I'm trying to hunt down the Turfway cam.
Okay.
Just a second, because that'll be looking back that way.
Okay, so what Brad's doing, he's pulling up a webcam to give you an idea of what things might look like right now, looking south towards the airport, which, yeah, look at that structure here on this, Brad. He's going to shift this a little bit to give you an idea of what this looks like. But this is going to be that tornado warned cell. This is Turfway, our Turfway camera facing towards the airport, which that pocket of rotation is right on top of the airport. So I believe in this camera you can actually see one of the control towers on the horizon. All right, so far, nothing, just a very eerie looking cloud moving through this direction. Nothing tornadic right now is good news, but heavy rain. You can see that on the horizon, very, very clear. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a good amount of lightning paired with this as well. And then, of course, just those low-lying clouds, too. No new information?
Nothing yet, nope.
Okay. Just making sure I'm not missing anything.
No, you're doing
all right, yeah, our Turfway cam, this is what we're seeing on the backside of that tornado warned storm. So this is looking south from Turfway in northern Kentucky, which that pocket of rotation is right over the airport. So if you're tuning in from Burlington, a little bit south and east of Hebron now is where we have that pocket of rotation. This is what things are looking like right now, giving you a live look at this tornado warned storm. And right now things looking very eerie, looking a little bit on the dicey side, but I'm not seeing anything, not seeing a tornado, not seeing any funnel clouds with this, but we're keeping a very close eye on it.
Yeah, the only thing, I mean, if it's in there and there's something going on over the airport on the other side of the airport, it's in the middle of the rain right there, and it'll be really hard to see.
Yeah, rain-wrapped tornadoes can be some of the most dangerous tornadoes because the rain is so heavy that you just cannot see what is going on there. So again, you're taking a live look at our Turfway cam looking south towards the airport. This is in Boone County. Those lower lying clouds, what very well could be something trying to spin up. Once again, this is in northern Kentucky where we've seen those tornado warnings continue. They will do so for the next 4 minutes or so, unless they are
A little bit of a lowering straight under the Turfway logo. You see that?
Yes,
Hold on, let's
let's
go
take
back to that real quick.
We'll
I'll
take
pull,
it
I'll
up.
pull up the camera on Max 2 just so we can go back and forth between it a little bit easier.
Okay, John, if you could just have Max 2 at the
I'm going to
ready.
pull it up here in just a second.
Okay, thank you. And let me pull up the Turfway. You can see what Brad's been pointing out, the lowering of these clouds. You see that?
Right through.
Pretty incredible structure here. So what we're seeing here is straight on through the lowering of the cloud. This is what we don't want to see. Very well could be something trying to spin up here live on camera. This is once again our Turfway cam looking south towards the airport where the tornado warning is in place for the next 3 minutes. But seeing how things are looking right now on our camera here, Brad is putting an outline on it, may very well need to extend this. We're going to be watching this. You guys can watch it here in live time as well, where we have that tornado warning. So Boone County, we still got about 2.5 minutes at this point for that tornado warning still in effect. I'm just making sure they didn't extend this because I'm looking at our radar behind the scenes and the rotation's still pretty, yeah, you see it right there, guys, it's still pretty concerning. It's kind of fluctuated, but generally it hasn't fallen apart. And so right now, still treat this very seriously, even though we are just a couple minutes out from that tornado warning being dropped. And so here's that pocket of rotation. It is very close to the airport. It is north and west of Erlanger, along 71, just north of that. Limaberg, it's east of you. Oak Brook, it's northeast of you. Here is that pocket of rotation just south of, pardon my eyes, is that Comair Boulevard?
Comair.
Comair.
Comair and Arrow Parkway is just south of that.
Okay, good to know, good to know. That's where that pocket of rotation is. And John, can we pull up Turfway, our Max 2, to show people what this is looking like from behind? There's that image right here. See those low-lying clouds? The rain shaft could very well be hiding a funnel cloud trying to spin into a tornado or an active tornado. This is why these situations are so dangerous, because we can't always see what's going on even outside, right outside our windows, because of the situation here unfolding right before you. So once again, you're taking a look at our Turfway cam. This is looking south and east towards the airport where we have that tornado warning still in place. Have they expanded this at all? I don't believe so, which means it's technically going to expire in the next minute, but we might need to stay on, Brad, because this hasn't shown signs of weakening. And
No, I would say we stay on.
Yeah, we're gonna stay on
There's a
for
good
you
chance they
guys.
extend it and
yeah,
issue right away.
yeah, no, absolutely. So even if this warning falls apart in the next 30 minutes, we're going to stay on because of what you see here on your screen. You can slowly see that cloud, the rain shaft goes with it, starting to move off the west side of your screen. If we could go ahead and pull up weather 1 once again so we can start talking about what I'm seeing on the one of our other products. This is a debris signature product, so without getting into the weeds of it, the red is regular rain. Anything that's not red is something that it could be hail. And usually if it's debris, we want it to be like bright blue or white. I'm not seeing that here, but I'm seeing different colors. So this has changed. Once again, could be a little bit of debris there. Once again, nothing screams debris to me, but once again, it's not red. So it's going to be something else there.
And the CC values indicating that it's something other, like you mentioned, than just rainfall.
Yeah, so that could be hail, that could be debris. I believe Brad's mic was off for a little bit for that, but he was explaining what you were looking at just a second ago. If it wasn't red, that means it could have been either hail or a little bit of debris as well. So no longer under that tornado warning. There's still a severe thunderstorm warning though. So now that it's 7:30, no active tornado warnings, but we're going to stay on the air because I'm still seeing a good pocket of rotation just north of Florence along 71. You see Brad's backing it up and showing you the rotation here in live time. And actually, can we show Max 2, see what's going on there real quick?
So we're going to lose that front end of that storm. One, it's getting covered in rain. The rain is now over at Turfway Park, but we lose it because there's a building there behind the camera.
Yes, I just wanted to show people that it's now downpouring on the backside of these showers and storms. So rain-wrapped tornadoes are very dangerous because obviously you can't see very well on this image here. Let's go back to Max 1, show you the storm velocity product, which is what you're seeing right now. The green versus the red indicates rotation. So zooming on in, you kind of have that red coming in from Florence. You definitely have that.
And just a heads up too, sorry, I switched it to the terminal Doppler just to get a little closer look at it. So they've kind of reversed the direction on there because it's coming from a different radar.
Okay. Yeah, good to know. So Brad went ahead and switched to the radar so we could get a better up-close idea at the surface what's going on. So sometimes the radars are the beams are so high up in the atmosphere that we could very well get a maybe not so accurate image of what's happening at the surface, whereas a terminal radar, what we're looking at right now, gives the best image we can possibly have right here in Queensgate, which is we got that green, we have the red. It's not looking incredibly tight and bright right now, but it's still rotation. And we got some information from Brad.
So reading back through, a couple storm spotters are in that area.
Okay.
One is reporting rotating wall cloud. About the same time we were seeing it there, that image going right over the airport. No reports of a touchdown. Another spotter at CVG there, the international airport, said rotating wall cloud visible, nothing there from it. And then one other chaser or storm spotter down in Burlington reporting 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts along with the storm. Lots of rotation, but no touchdown.
Lots of rotation, but no touchdown. Good news to hear, of course. No tornado warnings in effect, but still watching that rotation, stepping off screen to see if there's any info on here. Yeah, our behind the scenes velocity product, Brad, has not shown signs of weakening.
Yeah, I mean, it's intensifying. It looks bad as it did when it was in northern Boone County, just across the river.
Yes, and
so high.
We still, I mean, look at that. Right over northeast of Florence along 71. That is, I believe, 127. Yeah, southwest. It's kind of splitting Florence and Erlanger right now. The green and the red. It's moving south and east. So if you're tuning in just northeast of Devon, very western side of Summit Hills is where you're going to want to be taking your safe space now. Once again, not a tornado warning, but there's still a severe thunderstorm warning in place. If we could zoom out and show the area of that if you have time. Thank you. So this is in effect for the next 12 minutes, unless they've extended this, but I don't believe they have. So 7:45, and so it's indicating 60 mile per hour wind gusts, which the bright that you see here is the strength of the winds, which we're obviously seeing that. But then the pink outline indicates that a tornado is possible, and we're absolutely seeing this. We have eyes on the ground truth from chasers in the area near the airport of a rotating wall cloud, but thankfully no touchdowns. Here's that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the next 10 minutes or so. That includes Taylor Mill, Ryland Heights, Independence, Nicholson, as far west as Union, Florence. Burlington, you're still included with this. I think it's mainly, at least what could be a tornadic part is now south and east away from you is the good news. South and east, this is moving south and east away from Florence at this point in time towards Devon. And getting a little bit closer to 526 as well, just south of Richardson Road. No new information coming in off this one, I don't believe. Yeah, no, nothing coming on in.
Another tornado warning. They just put out a new one.
All right, so here's the new information. We could pop up the information. It looks like this is absolutely extended what we have been watching very closely. This is to no surprise to us. A new tornado warning in effect for the next 25 minutes for parts of Independence, northeast of Beaver Lake. It includes Union still. As far south as Piner, we're getting a little bit closer to, I believe that's getting closer. Is that Pendleton? This southern Kenton County. We're so zoomed in, my mind's all over the place. But here's that pocket of rotation. The pink that you see there is the new tornado warning in effect until 8 o'clock. We still have that severe thunderstorm warning until 7:45, but we're going to stay here on the air because we still have that tornado, that new tornado warning in effect. So that includes earlier, which that pocket of rotation is right on top of you at this point. Once again, we should be live streaming, so if you're not in your safe space, find your safe space, go to fox19.com, you can get that severe weather coverage right in the palm of your hand from the safety of your safe space. Here's that track. Pocket of rotation, southeast, about 40 miles an hour. Devon, 7:38, you got 2 minutes before things get really windy, if they're not already really windy around you. And then getting closer to Ricedale just before 7:45. And we're so zoomed in, I'm trying to get my bearings, Brad. This is just for Boone and Kenton counties?
Correct. Yep,
Yeah.
just a sliver of Kenton County.
Okay, so here's the line, here's the county line. If you're within this part of Kenton County, you're under a warning. This is mainly still Boone
No,
County.
there is a little bit of Campbell, it looks like.
Okay.
Okay, never mind. I'm getting my bearings too. Got it.
I'm getting my bearings too. It's okay. So Boone, Kenton, Campbell. This is the very eastern side of Boone County, south central Kenton, southwestern Campbell County. Yeah, now that we can actually see it without the radar, here's what the warning is looking like. Again, until 8 o'clock. So Independence, you're in the heart of that warning. Highland Heights, not in the warning. Neither is Covington anymore. Maybe this very southern side of Covington is still within this warning. So stay in your safe space until this tornado warning is allowed to expire. This new tornado warning that was issued within the last few minutes. So here's that pocket of rotation. Once again, we watched this travel all the way from north of Lawrenceburg, just across the river in Ohio, all the way down to southeast of Florence over the last 45 minutes or so. So what we want to see whenever we are tracking the rotation is the red. We have to have the green too, and that's indicating from our computers what could be a tornado. If these roads look familiar to you, the rotation's right on top of you. It'll be clearing south and east away from you within the next 20 minutes, but stay in your safe space until the warning is allowed to expire. This is getting closer to Pelly Road. I believe we're still in Boone County at this point, getting closer to Kenton though. Here's Independence. Now I've got my bearings. Independence, you guys need to be in your safe space. What could be a tornado? It's definitely a rotating wall cloud as confirmed by storm chasers in the area. This is a rotating wall cloud. It's moving southeast towards Independence. It'll be there within the next 10 minutes or so. It's skating just south of Edgewood, and I'm just looking at our turfway cam. Looks like maybe a little bit of hail trying to pop up there. Maybe just some small hail or just really heavy raindrops.
I think it's just, well, no, they're bouncing.
They're bouncing.
That's hail, yeah.
Could we pull up next to John to give people an idea of what the backside of this is looking like, which is our turfway cam once again. Yeah, that's a good image. This is on the backside of that tornado warned storm. And what you can see is some hail moving on through. It's hard to get a grasp as to how large this hail is.
Doesn't look big, but you can see it bounce. And when you see it bounce like that, raindrops obviously don't bounce. So it's bouncing off whatever podium there the camera's on.
Yeah, you see
And
it
I don't
getting
see it
to-
accumulating on the other side of the roof.
You see it accumulating?
I don't. So
No.
it's pretty spotty, and it can't be that big, but it's big enough that the camera's seeing it kind of bounce and ping off the top of that kind of ledge.
Okay. Yeah, so what you're looking there on the bottom right side of your screen is our turfway cam. That is in parts of Boone County. This is not where we have that pocket of rotation. We'll go ahead and take you back to our storm velocity product, which is showing that rotation. If we could go ahead and show that here. Yeah, so that's just southeast of Florence. Once again, if you're just tuning in, this tornado warning will be in effect for the next 20 minutes until 8 o'clock for parts of Boone, parts of Kenton, and now parts of very southwestern Campbell County. There's that rotation once again. Thank you, Brad, for showing us there. Wherever we have the red and the green getting really close together is radar indicated rotation. The brighter it is, the more likely that it's trying to produce a tornado, which we do have confirmation of that rotating wall cloud, which in order to produce a tornado, you need rotation, and it spawns from a wall cloud. So no confirmations of a touchdown quite yet. We're still working on getting some information behind the scenes, and if we get that information, you guys will be the first to know. Here's why that tornado warning is or has been extended to include most of Boone, parts of Kenton and Campbell counties. If you're tuning in from Independence, it's just north and west of you, but you'll want to be in your safe space. Those wind gusts in and of themselves can be severe, right? We saw this go from severe thunderstorm warning into that tornado warning, and honestly, that line there is the warnings overlapping. So you're still seeing those wind gusts. I'm sorry, John, could you repeat what you're saying? Okay, yeah, so John's saying that we have traffic cams that we could pull up for you guys, and I would love to show people what the roads are looking like right now. So this is 71, 75 south. This is where this is near Florence. So this is near where the rotation is, and we don't have control over the traffic cameras. These are from the Department of Transportation, I believe, and so we don't have the opportunity to move this around, but this is 71, 75. You can see the arrow on the left side of your screen. That's where we are looking at right now. This is near Florence, heavy rain. People are still driving. There's a tornado warning, and very well could be a rotating wall cloud in the area. Again, that storm velocity product in the top left corner of your screen is showing radar indicated rotation, and that image on the bottom right, that eyes on the ground truth, got some low-lying clouds. I'm not seeing anything tornadic in this image particularly, but it's doing a great job of showing you the heavy rain and maybe those winds with the shaking of the treetops too. Is there any new information coming on in from this one?
No, I just looked, and the last thing that's been talked about was just the new warning coming out.
Okay.
I don't have anything new from any of the spotters down in that area.
Okay, no new information is good information. So that tornado warning, it stretches as far east. It almost includes Northern Kentucky University, but it doesn't. That is skating south of Northern Kentucky University. It includes parts of Campbell, just the very southwestern point of Campbell County. And do we have any other traffic cameras? I know some people are probably going to be in my ear giving me this information as we go, but okay, he's going to work on getting maybe some better images for you guys. And for now, we'll just go ahead and keep talking about why we're breaking here, which is this tornado warning. So to give you an idea of where we are, here's Boone County. This is Boone County. So not all of Boone County is included here. It's just Union East. It includes 71. Here's Kenton County. It includes most of south central Kenton County. It includes Independence, which that pocket of rotation is right on top of Independence. Once again, wanting to be finding your safe space, calling your family if they live in the area, letting them know this is this is what could be a life-threatening situation. Nicholson, 7:49. It is 7:43. You got about 5 minutes before that pocket of concern is getting closer and closer to the area. Atwood, 7:52. White Villa, 7:56. And Morning View around 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock is where we had, where this tornado warning, rather, is going to be allowed to expire. So we're zoomed out now. If you're in Cincinnati, this is south of you. If you're in Lawrenceburg, this is south of you. If you're in Independence, this is right on top of you. And if you're in Piner, it's on the way, to give you an idea. If you're tuning in from Hamilton County, you still have some showers on the very southern edge of Hamilton County here, but things are looking better and better. You're no longer under any warnings of any kind. We're now across the river. We're in parts of Boone County. We're in parts of Kenton County, and we're in parts of Campbell County as well. This rotation, yeah, this is just held together, Brad. This is right on top of Independence at this point in time. Still tight, still bright, and still tornado warned for parts of Northern Kentucky. So,
I know it's tough over there. I'll just tell you. Lincoln Ridge Park, the golf courses of Kenton County.
okay.
looks like it's going to be well east of Beech Grove Elementary School, but it gives you an idea of the area.
Okay.
And it would be heading towards St. Cecilia Catholic Church and the school down that way, Amity Church, Brentwood Lane, and eventually down towards the White Tower area.
Yep, because here's the rotation. So he was giving you some landmarks in the area. If you're maybe not so familiar, maybe you're new to the area, that's okay. We have good place marks and good landmarks to give you an idea. So Independence, some of the local schools that Brad just pointed out, you're next in line for this rotation to be right on top of you. So White Tower, you got about 10 minutes till it's right on top of you. But if you're at Independence, if any of this rings a bell, so that's going to be Summit View Elementary and Middle School's Christian Center as well. Even Patriot Way is going to be in line for this. Just Independence in general, all of Independence is in line for this. It's going to be moving and kind of skating a little east of Risedale. No confirmation on anything for eyes on the ground truth at this point in time, but we're still working to get you that information.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything new come in from the National Weather Service, and I'm not sure if we're just limited to interstates, because I haven't played with the traffic cameras all that much, but if you have anything on 17 south of Independence, Kentucky 17 there, anything in that area, Independence area, because this is going to be well east of the interstate, so it's east of 71.
It's now east of 71.
And the worst of that rotation right now is just southwest of Independence, right around and southwest of Independence.
Yes. Can we show them what the hook looks like on this one?
Yeah, let me switch over.
See,
I'm going to switch the product real quick.
yeah, you can kind of see it on your regular reflectivity image, that hook that we always talk about, which usually you will see this with tornadoes, not always, but usually a little bit of a hook. It almost kind of looks like a comma in our reflectivity product. This is what a normal radar that we use on TV looks like. We were just showing you the velocity, whereas this is your normal radar look. And so you've got the inflow, and then you've got the rotation on the backside of this. This is why a rotating wall cloud is able to spawn from these clouds, and therefore a tornado warning is still very much in place. And yeah, this rotation is just not weakened.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it looks as bad as it has.
Yeah.
Probably since we've been on the air here.
Yeah, we've been on the air for a while. We saw this track as far north as Lawrenceburg, across the Ohio River, just around the airport, and it's now in Kenton County, the very western side of Kenton County. It's east of 71. It is south of Erlinger now, so Erlinger, you're looking better and better.
Yeah, I have a friend here that lives off of Fowler Creek, and he's reporting just very intense and very, all caps, very intense wind, rain, very, again, all caps, sideways. So
Very.
very, very.
He said it was raining sideways, correct?
Never good when the rain is going sideways.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Let's see. It looks like possible funnel cloud photo. That could also very well be Scud. It's hard to tell here.
Let me see.
This is coming out of the Hebron area earlier. Hard to tell because I don't know what part of the storm that was in. Yeah, this is past the international airport though now, so that's good news. Again, just giving you an idea of the bearings and where this is at.
Which is
Up there, just northeast of Burlington is where the airport is. That's where the storm was when we were looking at it on our Turfway Tower cam. It's now well off to the southeast of that, moving about 40 miles an hour. Worst of that rotation, as Aaron has been pointing out, they're in between Independence and Nicholson now.
And it hasn't shown many signs, if any signs, of weakening at this point in time. In fact, it's just fluctuated from maybe less impressive looks on our base velocity map to what we're seeing now, which is pretty concerning. Nothing confirmed at this point in time, but looks like they did extend that severe thunderstorm warning. If we want to provide some details on that real quick, which they have extended this to include most of Grant, all of Grant, most of Pendleton County, getting closer to Bracken County now. So again, still moving south and east at a pretty good speed. That new severe thunderstorm warning still has the tornado possible tag, which, yeah, absolutely. That storm of rotation still moving through parts of Kenton County at this point in time. So next in line for possibly a tornado warning are going to be parts of Grant, Pendleton, even as far south and east as Bracken counties. But right now, it's just a severe thunderstorm warning for you guys in effect until 8:30 tonight. Here's that hook that we're seeing. This is where that pocket rotation, it looks like it's just south of Independence now. It's east of the interstate, but still north of Piner, getting a little bit closer to south central Kenton County, where we haven't seen much rain today. I'm sure if we were looking north on the horizon, if you're not getting the wind, you're going to be getting the wind. And you're certainly getting quite the interesting look to the clouds right now with this on the way, which that pocket rotation just north of Nicholson, along 17, north of Atwood, towards Independence. Independence, it is right on top of you if you're on the south side of Independence, starting to slowly clear your area too. But of course, as we see it clear from northwest to southeast, well, we see things increase there for Nicholson and Atwood. So what we're showing you here is storm rotation. So this is giving you an idea of what the rotation path has looked like over the last hour and some change when we broke into programming, which it started all the way here in Dearborn County, crossed into Hamilton County, crossed the Ohio River, skated right across in the airport in Burlington towards Florence, and is now in Kenton County. Rotation, this product does a really good job of showing you where that center of rotation has been. Right now, that light blue, it's on the lighter side of our range here, but it's still rotation, and it still prompts those tornado warnings. The second one of the night looks like it's going to expire in the next 9 minutes or so, but that's if this pocket rotation weakens at all, which we really haven't seen it do so. This is our base velocity product. This is storm relative. This is what we use to give you an idea of how the innards of the cloud is behaving, which is rotating at this point in time. It's just north of Nicholson, west of White Tower right now, along 17, just south of Heartland Boulevard, Bank Lick, just east of you. And this is east. We are in Kenton County, to give you guys that placeholder again, east of 71 in Kenton County. So Independence is starting to skate south of your area, but it's getting closer to Nicholson, right on top of you guys. Getting a little bit closer to, if you live between Morning View and Nicholson, anywhere within there, you guys are going to be next in line for this tornado warned storm. So once again, only on our maps is Nicholson and Morning View, but between then, it should travel between those two over a 10-minute period. And this is moving pretty steadily, about 40 miles per hour south and east. We're in Kenton County, getting closer. So Morning View is kind of straddling the line between Kenton and Campbell counties, but it's also really close to Pendleton counties, which is why they have issued that severe thunderstorm warning saying, hey, we might need to extend this tornado warning should this rotation not weaken, which we have not seen it weaken since it crossed the Ohio River. And that rotation is right here. That magenta color that you see right there on your screen is the warning. It doesn't look impressive, but that's because they're slowly trimming off this warning, which means if you are tuning in parts of Boone County, especially up north and west towards Burlington, Hebron area, you're in the clear from this. Independence still within this warning, but you're on the northern edge of it. It'll be dropped for you guys here soon, but zooming on into that tornado or that pocket of rotation within the tornado warning, that is where you need to be in your safe space. Of course, this is east of the interstate, so to give you an idea, Union is no longer in the tornado warning, but Independence is. Nicholson is, in fact, that rotation's right on top of Nicholson, is heading towards Atwood, just west of West Villa, heading right towards Morning View. And again, we haven't seen many signs of this weakening within the last 30 minutes and some change as well. The warning, the only tornado warning we have active right now is in effect for the next 5 minutes, but we might need to do what we did before with this one, in which we stay on the air regardless. What's up, Brad?
Some good news. Per the emergency manager there, Casey Archie for Boone County, Kentucky, no reported damage in Boone County so far. That was as of 5 minutes ago.
Okay, as of 7:50, no reported damage, storm damage, that is, out of Boone County. Right now we're in Kenton County, where this active tornado warning remains in place. But we did have this pocket of rotation track through much of northeastern Boone County, and the good news is that's what it looked like. It was still pretty impressive up that direction, but has since crossed into Kenton County, just south of Independence, and has not lost much steam, if any steam, over the last 30 minutes or so. Giving you an up-close and personal look at this pocket of rotation. Nicholson, once again, still watching for that pocket of rotation to clear your area, but as soon as it does, Atwood's next in line. If you're tuning in, say between 5:36 and 17, it doesn't look like there's any suburbs in this location, but that's where we're seeing this pocket of rotation splitting. It's going to be those two roads right there. So, yeah, it kind of just looks like it's vegetation from what I'm seeing here on the radar image. But regardless, if I'm incorrect, find your safe space. That's where the rotation is. Again, we're in south central Kenton County at this point in time, where that tornado warning remains in effect for the next 4 minutes. And we do have that severe thunderstorm warning. That one's going to be in effect for those 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That includes a great deal of our viewing area. I'm going to go ahead and, okay, you've got it, Brad.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I was just going to say, I was looking at Google Maps. Sometimes the roads don't show up well on that particular image. There are some roads. There are a few communities. They're smaller, not named communities, but there are, a few roads that are down there. Kenton Station Road, Martin Road, Trace Run Road, Moffett, James Drive, Farmview Drive, down towards Hempfling Road. I mean, that general area is what we're talking about. In Kentucky 2042, State Road 2042, and that general area is where the rotation is heading.
Okay, that's where the rotation's heading, and there's a pretty good severe thunderstorm warning in effect. So that's the information on the bottom left corner of your screen that you see there. That is for those 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts outside of the pocket of rotation, but also we've got that tornado possible tag. Of course, the reason why we are breaking into regularly scheduled programming is that tornado warning, which is for parts of southern Kenton, including Independence and Piner, and for parts of Campbell County, which includes, zooming on in, just across the way from White Villa and Morning View. So Peach Grove Road 27, if you're tuning in your 27, State Route 27 there in Campbell County, there's a drive called Awesome Place Drive, if that sounds familiar. Find your safe space as well. So that's going to be in Campbell County to give you a placeholder there. Pulling up the velocity product once again. Okay, so new information. They've extended the tornado warning, so we're going to stay here on the air. Let's get that information to you. Could you take control, Brad?
Yep.
Okay, so new tornado warning in effect. This includes what looks like parts of Pendleton County, and as well as, so Pendleton County is the only new county included within this tornado warning. So that does not include Falmouth, but if you live near Falmouth or north, that is where that tornado warning has now been allowed to extend to. This one's in effect for the next 30 minutes. It includes Butler, it includes Menzie, Goforth, and then we have 467, again, 27. If you are skating along Route 27 in northern Kentucky, pull over. If you have people in the area, call them, make sure they are in their safe space as well. This new tornado warning is in effect for Pendleton County until 8:30, but we still have about a minute left on that Kenton County and Campbell County initial warning, but I wouldn't be surprised if once we see that expire, there's still parts of Campbell and Kenton within this tornado warning, because this rotation is still right in the middle of Kenton County. It's still north of Piner. It's heading towards Morning View. That is located right around here, south and east of Nicholson. Yeah, there it is, right there. Pocket of rotation is just east of Atwood, east of 17 in Kenton County. A lot of waterways in this area as well. So it looks like we've changed the
switched
Doppler.
to the terminal Doppler, just
Terminal
to see a little
Doppler.
closer look in that area.
Yeah, so we
zoom
do
out.
this to give you an idea of what things are happening or looking like at the lowest level that we possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, the radar is right there just to the southwest of Nicholson. You'll see a little dome there. So, I mean, this is right on top of the radar site, just to the east of it. Mm-hmm. And I don't see any tight couplets in the area, but there's certainly some rotation there.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit broader, for sure, as it tracks across Kenton County. And, oh wow, that's a lot of pink. It's kind of hard to unpack all of that, but once again, now it's 8 o'clock, so it should change. It just did change, which is good. Getting a better idea of what this morning still looks like, which it includes Nicholson. How do you pronounce this? Visalia? Visalia, thank you. I apologize, you guys. This is out towards parts of Campbell County, still included within this. And then, of course, south of Campbell County, down well towards Pendleton County, in which that tornado warning will expire in about 30 minutes or so. So here's that little notch in the storm. Typically, yeah, there it is as well. That's our terminal Doppler image, giving you an idea of what rotation looks like, which I'm not seeing the tight bright couplet right now, but there's definitely still rotation happening with this. We're still in Kenton County, you guys, but it's getting closer to where Kenton and Campbell County meet. It will cross more than likely.
So another piece of good news too, if you just go back, this is just a few minutes. This takes us back to 7:45. This image compared to this image, look how much weaker the storm is overall. I mean, we've went from a ton of red when it was over Independence to now, at the current time, not much red at all. So that's good. The overall trend here, and I'm noticing too in the couplet department here, in the velocity department, we're not seeing the tight couplet we saw earlier over the airport. Even using this particular radar, it was very intense winds over the Independence area where I had that report from my friend Dan, who was coming in and saying, that everything was going sideways, very sideways, in the rain department near Independence. And now you can see just over the last 15 minutes,
it's really falling apart.
It's really kind of falling apart, which is good news.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm looking at our radar behind the scenes too, and it is just, it's still rotation, it's still trying to spin, still under a warning, but it looks like it's losing a good amount of steam. And I'm not surprised by this because, Brad, this is where we had the heaviest rain moving through the area not too long ago, at least the eastern side of northern Kentucky and our tri-state areas where we had several inches of rain being reported. Of course, that's east of the area entirely, but we did see a bit of backbuilding. Good news about this and all of that is that we're seeing this weekend. It's still tornado warning, and you still want to stay in your safe space until the all clear is given. So here's that storm rotation. So this gives you an idea of how the storm has behaved as it has crossed through from Dearborn into Hamilton, all the way to Boone, now Kenton, and getting closer to southern Campbell and northern Pendleton counties where we've seen that tornado warning being extended. So storm rotation, this does a really good idea, gives you a good idea of what the rotation looks like. Clearly, we've had a good track of rotation, but nothing confirmed as of right now. No storm reports coming on in is the good news, of course, but we're going to stay here on the air until we see this tornado warning expire, which it's not going to do so until 8:30. So here's that zoomed out look of the new tornado warning. So parts of Kenton, does not include Independence now, parts of Campbell, very southwestern point of Campbell, and the very northern half of Pendleton County, where we have a very strong and tornado warned storm. So here's a look at that rotation one more time. Look how it's fallen apart. I'm going to bring you back in time to give you an idea of how it's behaved over the last hour or so, which, yes, we went from the image looking like this up towards Burlington around 7:20. Here is 7:45, still really intense as it crossed over into Kenton County. And then as we gotten closer to 8, here's now is really lost a lot of its organization, is the good news, but still we're going to be finding and staying in that safe space until the all clear has been given. All right, we're going to zoom out and give you that look one more time at this tornado warning, and then also that severe thunderstorm warning, which does include a lot of our northern Kentucky counties, because regardless of a tornado or not, this is producing lots of winds, or lots of heavy wind, I should say, very clearly presented there by Brad's friend who texted him that it was raining sideways.
Very sideways.
Yeah, severe thunderstorm warning still in effect. So this actually does include parts of Switzerland County over in southeastern Indiana. So it's not including Ohio County, but very eastern side of Switzerland. Across the river into Gallatin, you're on the eastern side of that. You still got some gusty storms on the way for you guys. Southern Boone County is still within this warning. It's just we're on the air for the tornado warning, which just includes Kenton, Campbell, and northern Pendleton County. Looks like this is producing a lot of rain too. I mean, the reason why we issued 2 first alert weather days this weekend alone was because of how much rain was being produced, regardless of the severe threat, which we're seeing heavy rain moving through parts of Kenton and Boone County right now.
And you can see how the rotation aspect of the storm is kind of falling apart a little bit. Look how the storm, even though the most intense part of it is kind of falling apart, the storm is expanding in size a little bit. We have some of those news cells ahead of the main, storm we were keeping an eye on, still in the tornado warning area, yes. As that happens, it looks like we saw just in the last hour almost 2 inches of rainfall near the airport. I didn't see the official report. I guess I could check that real quick.
So he'll go ahead and check that. I mean, regardless, a heavy amount of rain. The CVG hasn't received a lot of rain so far this weekend, but I mean...
Picked up almost 1/3 of an inch at the airport, but some areas, radar estimates have it over 1.5 inches.
Wow, yeah. That's why we issued that first alert weather day, by all means. Okay, so I'm just seeing, let's go ahead and pull up some storm reports because right now we're seeing some try to come into the National Weather Service, at least our inbox here with the National Weather Service, and there's one, just one. And the description this is providing is within Kenton County. This is a large branch down in Edgewood. It could be a possible tornado. This is according to the National Weather Service, just north of Independence. Our first local storm report officially from the National Weather Service, the time of this report was at 7:40, which is where we had that rotation moving through at that time.
So inside the chat itself, we have a communication line with the National Weather Service and a few of the emergency managers, and it looks like from James up at the National Weather Service office in Wilmington, talking about that report in particular. The circulation did go over that area and had somebody report in that area that he saw a touchdown on the Kentucky side of the river, but only for less than a minute. So
okay, so the Kentucky side of the river, that would have been up near the airport.
Yeah, I mean, in that, I'm assuming it coincides with the report there, 2 miles south-southwest of Edgewood.
Yeah, so that's
Kenton County.
Yeah, Kenton County, north of Independence. This is southeast of Florence. This is east of the interstate. Edgewood is in Kenton County. This is where we could have a little bit of tornado damage. Again, this is from our partners at the National Weather Service. This is the only local storm report so far that we've had tonight. Could very well see some more being issued. Let's talk about that active tornado warning, which still includes Kenton, Campbell, and Pendleton, or parts of those counties, but it's really fallen apart. Let's show you the velocity one more time. Or again, yeah, just not impressive. It's still got some broad rotation to it. That's why they're holding on to this warning. They're likely going to do so unless it really fizzles out, and I mean really fizzles out, just to cover their bases. But to give you an idea of how this has behaved over the last hour, where we had this moving through parts of Edgewood. So this was likely, yeah, I mean, this is, look at this. This is when it hit Edgewood. This is what it looked like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a very intense little spin there. That blue pixel right in the middle that kind of pops out.
Yeah. Yep. So.
Yeah, I'm getting rainfall rates anywhere in the storm about 1 inch to 2.5 inches.
Yeah.
Just depending on what part of the storm we're looking at. And some of the heaviest rainfall now is over in Patriot, Indiana. So that's going to be over in Switzerland County, just south there of Ohio County.
Yeah, that's where the very western side of that severe thunderstorm warning is right now. But, of course, most of northern Kentucky is still within that severe thunderstorm warning, which is still in effect. That'll be in effect. Give you one more look at that. So this is the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the next 20 minutes or so, and I believe that's also when this tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire as well. Yes, so Campbell, Kenton, Pendleton, that tornado warning is still in effect until 8:30. And because it's shown signs of weakening, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't extend this, but they haven't dropped the warning, and they haven't explicitly told us otherwise. So still stay in your safe space. Here's that rotation. You can see it's starting right now to cross right over Morning View into very southwestern Campbell County. Go ahead and put a track on this for you guys one more time to give you an idea of what things are looking like. So even though things are falling apart, you still want to stay in your safe space. So that's going to be your basement. That's going to be the innermost room of your wherever you live. As long as you don't have windows in the room, that's the best opportunity, the best place to be in a situation like this. So this is showing you where storms are going to be heading towards. This is not necessarily the pocket of rotation, but rather the strong winds and the severe thunderstorm warning. So Falmouth, you're at about 5 minutes before these strong winds really start to kick up and it starts to pound rain on top of you. Dry Ridge, so that's out towards Grant County along the interstate. Just before 8:30, Brooksville, that is all the way east towards Bracken County, also going to see winds kicking up within the next 10 to 15 minutes or so, and then gets closer to Robertson County where we've had flood warnings in place. That'll happen closer to about 8:45.
Yeah, so the National Weather Service, this is, again, going outside of the tornado is the reason we're on the air right now, and while we're breaking into your regular coverage, as Aaron has mentioned, but if you just zoom out just a bit, just to give us a real big picture of what's going on, over the last half an hour, you can see that those storms are kind of just back building into Dearborn County, where there was nothing. It was a very narrow band of storms. It's now expanding in width. The National Weather Service has put out a new precipitation kind of discussion, what they call a mesoscale precipitation discussion. That's nerd talk for it's going to rain a lot. And the biggest issue will be the flash flooding. At this point, they're really concerned with heavy rainfall from this. So it's transitioning more from what we were kind of just on the air for, the tornado, into more of a flash flood threat, where they assume now that flash flooding is going to be likely from those 1.5, 2.5 inch rainfall rates and expanding and training storms. So something to definitely keep an eye on around where where that heavy rain is coming down now, and especially areas to the southeast of this. So we're talking mostly our northern Kentucky communities at this point. Southeast Indiana, Switzerland County, keep an eye on this, Ohio County, because those storms are pushing back now and just kind of redeveloping on the back end into Dearborn County and, Boone, Kenton, Campbell County. So something to keep an eye on here.
Yeah, as soon as you get comfortable, those rain showers are back building. Our models handle this very, very well. That's why this whole weekend we've been stressing the heavy rain, because while there has been and there is active severe weather in the area, more of us are going to be impacted by flash flooding risks and heavy rainfall in general, which Dearborn County, you're not under any warnings, but you're getting a lot of rain all at once. Could very well see some flood alerts being issued that direction, and especially in northern Kentucky, where we have some warnings right now, and areas west of the warnings too, could very well get some flood alerts as well. But it is 8:13. We still got about 17 minutes on this tornado warning, which once again, parts of Kenton, Boone, and northern Pendleton County. So nothing confirmed at this point in time, but of course, strong winds, lots of rain, and this had a history of producing some storm damage in parts of Kenton County, where reports of a large tree has been downed, and they're saying it's due to a possible tornado. Here's what the rotation's looking like right now. Here again, that pink there on your screen is the tornado warning. We still got some broad rotation, but it's not as tight, not as bright as what it once was. So this is even 20 minutes ago. It's about 30 minutes ago. Look at that. It lost a lot of steam as it crossed just south of Independence, just east of Pioneer, along 27 there in northern Kentucky. So this tornado warning, I wouldn't be surprised if they were not going to extend it unless things start to change, which is the trend is our friend right now. Hopefully it stays our friend, because it's pretty broad. Here's what the reflectivity image looks like. Outside of the tornado warning, it's producing a lot of lightning, strong winds, and heavy, heavy rain moving through the tri-state. So once again, that severe thunderstorm warning that you see here in the orange, it includes parts of Switzerland, parts of Boone, Kenton, Campbell, as far east as Bracken County, all of Grant County, and that's because this line is trudging on by, 40 mile per hour, southeasterly direction to this as well. But more importantly, it's back building. So those in Dearborn County are seeing a lot of rain right now. Lawrenceburg, we're not seeing it in Cincinnati, but it's right across the river. I'd say the more north and east of Cincinnati you are, the less concern for flooding that we have for you guys. I mentioned that at 19 at 6, in which you could see some showers overnight, but where we're seeing the heaviest rain, or we've seen the heaviest rain over the last 10 minutes, that's where the flash flooding risks have really been of concern.
So I'm just putting some measurements on there just to kind of prove the point here with the flooding issue. It was about a 10-mile wide storm, so in and out it would drop about a third of an inch to a half inch or so of rain at worst. Now, that was an hour ago. Speeding up, you can see how wide that storm has become and how much more of the storm you're going to have to get to. Moving in a southeasterly trek now you have a 50-mile wide storm if it continues on that southeasterly path. So you went from picking up at the airport about a third of an inch of rainfall. You're going to multiply that by 5. I mean, you're talking over 2 inches of rain, and if it keeps building like that and it keeps training like that, that's going to increase the flash flooding threat over the next couple of hours. I try to do the math, but it's a Sunday. And,
and he's wearing a hat.
And I'm wearing a hat.
So no math.
It's like when everybody gets really excited at soccer when the goalkeeper puts a hat on. That's what's happening right now.
That's exactly what's happening. What you guys need to know, though, is that we're seeing exactly what the models were showing earlier. The back building of this initial line of round 2 of those potentially severe storms, which have turned severe. Well, we're now seeing the heavy rain building behind it, which is more of a widespread concern moving into the overnight hours and will affect that Monday morning commute as well. So that tornado warning, yeah, it's still in effect. I don't believe they've trimmed this at all very recently.
No,
they haven't.
Still
So it still includes southern Kenton, very southwestern Campbell, there it is, and northern Pendleton County. It includes northern Falmouth County. So this is the storm rotation track. Notice it's really lost organization. It's fizzled out to basically nothing as it crossed south and east of Nicholson. But where we had some damage reports right here, that's that down tree near Edgewood, is very well could be tornado damage. It's something we'll have to get confirmed by the National Weather Service. We might have a crew on the way there. We'll get that information for you guys too, but we've got crews on standby in case any reports do come out with this storm damage. Okay, so for this tornado warning, we're now in Pendleton County, which includes Butler, Menzie, along 27, excuse me. Yeah, look at this rotation. It's really fallen apart. It's very broad. Very, very broad, which is good. I think this tornado warning at 8:30 is going to be allowed to expire, and we'll be able to return to regularly scheduled programming. But that severe thunderstorm warning, it will still continue because this is producing a lot of stronger winds. Severe criteria for wind gusts is 60 miles per hour, and we've been absolutely seeing that over the last several hours, but also not severe criteria, but still very impactful to you. The frequent lightning can be deadly, and the heavy rain leading to flash flooding can also be deadly. It's going to be mainly overnight into Monday once we see all this water rushing downstream into our low-lying areas with poor drainage. So that's why we're stressing, even once the severe window ends, the flash flooding window and the flooding window does not. So we'll be on the air so long as this tornado warning is in effect, and it will be in effect for the next 12 minutes or so. But the good news is it has continuously fallen apart. It's certainly less impressive from what we saw up towards Boone and Kenton County. What's up, Brad?
Getting a report out of Ripley County. This is back in southeast Indiana from emergency manager there, reporting via the dispatch. They have a flooded roadway. That's West Hopewell Road, vicinity of 300 County Road 300 West in the Holton area. So Holton area seeing some flooding with this storm. That would be, again, back here between Versailles and the Friendship area. When the storm pushed on through, I should say west of Versailles, you can see Holton there on the map.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, so this, again,
Right here.
not only the capabilities and damaging wind as we've seen, but obviously the flooding threat is now going to be our new issue working our way through the night. And I'll be honest, that area did not see some of the worst of the rainfall.
No.
So we're probably seeing some standing water in a lot of other areas as the storm has trekked on through. So just something, again, to keep an eye on here, because that was our big issue going into the weekend, was going to be the flooding threat.
Yeah.
And it's just now starting to come to fruition. And you can see they've trimmed the warning as well.
Okay, so let's talk about that, and then I want to show you the power outage map too. They've got that pulled up. So right now, the only county within this tornado warning is northern Pendleton County, and it's likely going to be expiring at the top of the half hour, 8:30. Again, that's northern Pendleton County. But look, that severe thunderstorm warning is still in effect until 8:30 as well. It includes southern Boone, Kenton, Campbell, all of Pendleton, or at least most of it, Grant, and even as far east as Switzerland County. That's for those 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, which, let's take a look at the power outage map for you guys, give you an idea of what's going on. So it looks like we've got about 1,000 people without power. If we could zoom in to give people an idea of where the most affected customers are. This is the Duke Energy outage map, and this is where we had that pocket of rotation moving through, Brad, parts of Erlanger north of Independence. That report of that tree being downed in Edgewood very well could be leading to something like this, or at least similar damage could be leading to something like this. This is something we'll be keeping a pretty close eye on as we continue to see those severe thunderstorms trek through parts of northern Kentucky. It doesn't take a tornado to create downed power lines, downed trees, and straight line winds with the saturated soil. One good wind gust is all it takes to take a healthy tree down. All right, so back to the tornado warning. We're just going to stay on the air for the next 9 minutes because of this guy, which can we show? I mean, I'm looking at velocity back here, but let's show the people. It's really falling apart. Let me look at that. It's really, this is good news, folks. We'll continue to see those warnings fall off, at least the tornado warning, which is the magenta color that you see there. It includes Butler still, so please stay in your safe space, just in case you don't want to be caught off guard by something like this, but things are looking better and better. They're improving. Falmouth, you're on the very southern edge of that tornado warning. I don't believe this is going to be extended. I don't think it needs to be extended, but outside of tornadoes, straight line winds, heavy rain, and frequent lightning moving through everywhere you see there in the pink outline. Yeah, that's a good line of showers and storms that are back building with some downpours as well. So heavy rain once we get through this tornado warning, and once I hop off the air here, that's going to become the main concern, and the main concern very quickly. But as Brad mentioned, many people are already seeing standing water on the roads in parts of Ripley County where we haven't even seen the worst of the rain so far. But parts where we have seen the worst of the rain so far, so this was earlier today, so correct me if I'm wrong, parts of Robertson, Mason counties, flood warnings were in effect, and that's where we had several inches of rain being reported. Even up towards Ripley, Ohio, and Brown counties where we had some of the strongest rain moving through the area as well too. But strong winds and heavy rain moving on through with this line of showers and storms is why they have issued not just that tornado warning, but also the severe thunderstorm warning too.
So I have a photo that I'm getting put together here.
Okay.
I just have to find it in the email real quick, but I'll get there. Give me just a minute. That's what I'm doing over here.
Okay, sounds good. I'll go ahead and keep brushing up on the bigger picture with this system, which, yeah, we've seen tornado warnings outside of the viewing area too, but I'm mainly showing you this zoomed out look to show you the direction of how things are moving, which we're seeing. Here's us over here in Cincinnati. We've seen the storms back building into Dearborn County. And if we continue to see these back building, which is just rain on top of rain on top of rain, and we've seen this for days too. So flooding risks is really what we're going to be hitting home over the next several hours, or at least when I hop back on the air in about an hour and a half for Fox 19 at 10. We're going to be tracking more impacts from this. And if you have photos and videos, please send them to our digital team. That's going to be at www.fox19.com/pics. PICS. Brad's pulling up a photo for us right now.
So the photo I'm looking at here, it looks like it's So sometimes you get some really weird looking clouds when you have storms like this that push through. So what I'm looking at looks like an inflow tail to the storm. It's not a tornado, the one I'm looking at right now, but it is, and it's going to be an email that came in at 7:55 here. That is an inflow tail. I know it kind of at a weird angle. If you catch it at the right angle, it can kind of look like a funnel sometimes, but that's what I'm seeing here. I do have some photos here of a tree damage in the Edgewood area. I mean, that looks like a large tree. So it's down there, and so I'm going to see if I can get that.
Okay, well, you work on that. With the severe thunderstorm warning has been updated. They trimmed it from in front of it. This is unlike them, but it's good. That means it's weakening, at least from their standards. So not all of Grant County is underneath that severe thunderstorm warning. It's Williamstown and north. That's where we have heavy rain moving through now and likely some gusty straight line winds. Falmouth, you're included in the severe thunderstorm warning, but not the tornado warning, which they continue to trim. That tornado warning, it will expire in the next 5 minutes. And then out towards Bracken County, if you're in Brooksville, or the very western side of Brooksville, along that line towards Foster, that's where we have that severe thunderstorm warning. It's our only severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the area, but once again, it's not all just about the active severe storms. We're stressing the impact of the heavy rain and even the straight line winds, which we've been seeing some storm damage reports rolling on in, and we have crews behind the scenes working on this for us as well. But we've seen these storms get wider, which means you can almost think of it as it's dispersing its intensity a little bit. So we've seen this pocket of rotation, which is why we've seen several tornado warnings over the last several hours at this point. We've seen that fall apart. More than likely it will expire within the next 4 minutes, but that's still in effect for parts of Pendleton County for the next 4 minutes or so. And then since they updated this warning, I just want to brush up on the timing, because this is also supposed to expire at 8:30, but they could have changed that. Nope, it's still 8:30 as well.
So I have that photo in Max, looks like Max 2, if you want to pull that photo up. This is out of the Edgewood area. I don't have any other details on this. It just quite literally says tree down in Edgewood. So that is the image that was sent to us. What I can't also tell completely from this photo is if that is a healthy tree or not. I'm not seeing a lot of leaves. So a lot of times too, some of these storms, they can take out some, do some of the tree removal for you if the tree is dead, and those trees just generally don't hold up as well. So I can't really tell, without being there on site. But I mean, it is a large tree.
Yes.
That's just the one thing I can derive from the image. So again, that was out of the Edgewood area. They're going to be looking at this, I would imagine, since the area of rotation went over that area, to survey that to see if it was perhaps tornado damage or just regular old wind damage.
Yeah, either way, definitely a large tree seen there on your screen, and can't determine if it was a healthy tree, but regardless, it was big, and it fell because of the storms rolling on through.
Flooding in Ripley. Was this Ripley County?
So while we work on getting you guys some more photos and videos coming on in, let's take a look here at your radar image, which once again, we're going to remain on the air over the next 3 minutes. We're still waiting on this tornado warning, which to give you an idea of where that velocity stands or the rotation stands, it is very broad. Yeah, very broad at this point in time. So this once could very well have produced a tornado. But here's where that pocket of rotation is. It's trying, but it's very broad at this point in time. So it's north of Falmouth, just east of 27. This is in Pendleton County, where the last of the tornado warnings are in effect for the next 2 minutes or so. But we also, here's the bigger picture. We still got a decent amount of rain approaching there from the west. So that's south of Columbus in Indiana.
Yeah, it is sitting over Dearborn County right now. And if you loop that and look back at it, just to the northwest of Lawrenceburg, so we're talking the Guilford area, up towards Perfect North Slopes area, you just see that over the last, ever since about 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So the last half an hour, that storm has just not moved. And with rainfall rates, with 2 inches an hour, you're probably seeing already an inch in that area. And So something to keep an eye on there, because there is a lot of topography where you can have some issues with flash flooding that wouldn't, bother many people or many areas, but a lot of hills in that area, smaller creeks. So if you're in one of those flood-prone areas, Bonnell, Guilford, through Greendale, Hidden Valley Lake, just be keeping a very close eye out the window at this point to make sure that water isn't coming up on you.
Yeah, don't turn around and don't drown. We got a local storm report from, it looks like the airport, some wind. Strong winds, 48 miles per hour. That makes sense with the severe thunderstorm warning. It's just about 8:30, which is when not only this tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire, but also the severe thunderstorm warning as well adjacent to it. So we still, both of those have been allowed to expire at this point in time, and no concerns of rotation, at least very tight and bright rotation anymore. But I mean, this is producing a lot of rain, folks, a lot of lightning. And like Brad mentioned, Dearborn County is just one area that is getting hammered by consistent heavy rain. And because of the topography, you could get not just your rain, but the rain upstream of you. And so that's several inches upon several inches, and that's why flash flooding over the next several hours is going to be something that we are going to closely monitor here behind the scenes, and we'll let you know should anything change about that. But I'd say the immediate impact from all of this that you see here is going to be the frequent lightning. Now that we no longer have those severe, as soon as I say that, they issue the warning. Okay, well, this is not a tornado warning, but it's still severe. So here's that new warning. Southern Pendleton, this one now includes Falmouth, Grant County, and this is just for wind speeds at 60 miles per hour. They have dropped that tornado possible tag. That's good. That is picking up on what we've been putting down for the last 30 minutes, in which rotation has really become less and less of a concern. This is the good news. Let's put a loop on this, show you guys where this is heading before we hop off of the air here. We've been on the air for a little less than 2 hours now. Here's where the storms are right now. So once again, heading south and east, about 25 miles per hour. So this has lost steam. So we're also a little worried that more and more rain is just going to fall with these slow-moving storms. It's really just going to be about watching these rainfall rates and seeing how slow these storms move over the next, however long they last, which is, from what I'm seeing, the models overnight into Monday, into the commute for some. So here's that line of thunderstorms. Vivi, Indiana, the horizon probably looks really dark to you. You got some flashes of lightning in there, but heavy rain's on the way. It'll be here, right now. Williamstown, 8:45, so you got about 10 minutes before it starts pummeling rain on you. Strong winds, so you're under that severe thunderstorm warning. And then Owen County, New Liberty and Owenton, anywhere from about 8:50 to 9 o'clock, so about 20 to 30 minutes for you guys to get those showers and strong wind gusts as well. Good amount of lightning being produced. Here's an idea of what that looks like. You can see it's kind of cluttered on my radar image, so I'm going to get rid of that. The only active warning, no longer under tornado warnings, but still want to be staying weather aware for strong wind gusts being produced by this line of thunderstorms now pushing through Grant and Pendleton counties. This is in effect until 9:15. So the next 45 minutes, you guys can expect strong winds, frequent rain, and frequent lightning. Say that 10 times really fast. But also, you're going to see the rain continuing overnight into your Monday morning as well. So this is not just a tonight problem, this is a tomorrow issue as well. We're going to go ahead and hop off of here because there are no longer any tornado warnings in the viewing area, just these 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. We're going to check in with our partners of the National Weather Service, our EMS and EMA partners as well, to work on if there's any reports of damage. And we'll let you guys know what we find coming up on Fox 19 at 10. But for now, signing off here in Queensgate, we'll throw it right back to regularly scheduled programming.